dropped the mini hand tripod, whatever thing. I don't know what to call it, but I have to ask the question. You know how they have that Justice League character, the question? Hold on, actually, let's do some no, I'm not. Imagine put on a beanie to be what's it called? Um Mysterious. No. You know that Justice League character I'm talking about off that animated show with no face, but it's like a fake mask. Don't know why it took me so long to say that last part, but anyways. So the question now with the e-files, I'm not even gonna bring up the real name because I feel like what I'm about to say might happen. So it's about the right questions, not if these questions are true or not. I mean, you can basically kind of prove it. So if you don't know what the e-files are, you don't know what's happening. So now that we know, I'm not posting about it. I'm not touching it because of what I feel like is actually happening. So the e-files, when all that took place, and you have this illegal commodity, we'll call it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just I feel like this is the only way to say it without getting censored. So you have illegal commodities, which are people. Now you get what I'm saying. Which means did these volumes transact? And if it couldn't be proven in traditional finance, and there is still volume being took place, what cryptocurrencies were used? Bingo. Bingo. So now you have a surface area on which you can kind of prove a means. Were these done with KYC accounts? It gets deep. Now you see what I'm saying. Was this done with KYC accounts? If not, can it be traced to swaps into XMR and Zcash? So when you're looking at the illegal commodity transactions and then you kind of just switch your focus real quick on what to actually look for, if there was any volume being took place, it couldn't have been done in such an obvious sense. Because if you're actually serious about having these transactions being done over a long period of time, you have to put yourself in a position of anonymous territory, we'll call it, I guess whatever the word is for that. You masquerade. But, it's something to think about. Because if these transactions were being done in XMR, the only way to trace the volume would to be seeing if that transaction happened OTC, like over the counter, or was this through a third party means, and then you can pinpoint a lot of stuff from there. Like if they were really lacking with IP, which a lot of them actually are because they think money protects them from everything. So I'm assuming at least one of those possible transactions in theory were done without IP protection, proxies, this and that, whatever you want to call it. That's actually wild when you think about it, because all that you have to do now, I mean, I'm not endorsing this, but if people know this much and they go ahead and unredact the files for themselves and then they trace it from there, then I feel like if that eventually happens, maybe going into 2027, because people have to be smart enough to figure it out, and then out of those able to figure it out, who's actually going to do this? Not me, because I feel like if they're doing this much sloppily to have the files redacted, but they still want to protect everybody, then they're going to do so by silencing everybody that has solid evidence information, at least a basic know-how. So like, I don't know, if you want to be Batman today, I don't want to be. I'm not Captain America. I'm not going to jail for that shit. I'm talking about Like people are really stupid. You're gonna tell everybody how to unredact files that the government doesn't want released, and then even if they suck at it, like you're gonna still challenge them. Like they can't just put you in prison for the rest of your life. I'm like, I'm like, I guess you really don't know how this country works. Like, bro, if you are right, how do you know you're not the Jeff? Never mind. The next, what's it called? McAfee. That's a better name. But I'll leave it there because I feel like I've asked all the right questions. I don't necessarily have the know-how or desire to actually do any of this and get myself wrapped up in stuff that has nothing to do with me, even though it's very serious. Like you need qualified people going after this that at least have a chance of not getting in trouble. So this is above my pay grade. This is above the common man's ground. But that's just my question for the e-files. How much was this cryptocurrency related? What cryptocurrencies would that have been if anything did take place? What confirmation do you have based upon the volumes on chain? Bingo. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna do my wave out.